So hello and welcome back. Maria McMahon here with you again. So this is part 2 of my gaslighting phrases and how to combat them. So number 5 is another one you'll get all the time from them, and it's I'm just teasing. But obviously when that's happening, you're not laughing or feeling it. It's a bit like the making jokes one that I covered in the last vid. Because basically teasing implies good-naturedness, but you know deep down in your gut that there's nothing good-natured about what's being said. Quite often there's an undercurrent of nastiness about it. So don't let yourself get fooled into thinking that, oh, well, yeah, maybe they are teasing, maybe I'm being oversensitive, all of that stuff. Don't buy into any of that. Trust how you feel. How a person makes you feel is basically your moral compass. It's your radar. It's your gauge for whether you're being treated properly or not. So if you don't feel good about it, trust that, okay? Now the next one that you might hear is, why are you always so serious? Now you'll often hear this when you're just being logical and trying to hold them accountable for their behavior. You're seeing things for what they are. But if it makes the narcissist uncomfortable in any way, they'll use this one to try to lighten the air and just make you feel heavy and to blame you for being who you are and blame you for bringing up stuff. As always with the narcissist, it's always going to come back to being your fault. And again, very similar advice to what I gave in the previous tip. Just don't buy into this. Trust how you feel. And if you feel it's a serious issue that needs addressing, you're right and they're wrong, okay? But the fact is, you're always going to be right. They are always going to be wrong, but they are never, ever, ever, as long as they live, going to admit to that or own up to it or try to work on things and make them better. So I say it so often, if you are in one of these relationships, please look at every possible means of getting out if you possibly can. And if you can't, then these types of tips are going to be even more important for you. So number 7 is, you've got no sense of perspective, or why are you blowing things out of proportion? Now, as with the previous one, this is their attempt to belittle how you're feeling, to invalidate you and make you question yourself. It's also a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black, if you've ever heard that expression, because narcissists are astonishingly good at doing exactly what they accuse you of. So if they're saying that, you again need to trust your gut, trust your instincts. If you are feeling sensitive, upset, whatever about something, because they've done something wrong, which 9 times out of 10 they have, then trust that you have a right to feel those feelings, recognize that those are your feelings, and validate that these things did happen to you and that they are to blame. And just be okay with that information, even if you can't get them to back down or see your side, because generally you can't, okay? So let's go on to number 8, which is, I think I mentioned this briefly, but this specifically on its own, you'll hear this a lot when you ask them to clarify something, or you say you've said something, that wasn't nice, whatever. They'll say, I didn't mean it like that. So don't say to them, when you hear this, don't say it doesn't matter that you didn't mean it like that. What matters is that it hurt me. Do not say that. Do not tell a narcissist what hurts or upsets you, because all that's doing is giving them the ammo they need to hurt you some more. Remember that narcs are not normal people, and communicating with them the way you would in a normal relationship where the other partner actually cares about you is a completely different ballgame. So instead of saying that, instead of saying, it hurt me, I so don't advise you to say that. Just say, oh, how did you mean it? And let them spell it out. Now, they will find a way to waffle their way out of it, but you will still have taken the impact out of what they were trying to do. Okay? Now, pretty much all gaslighting works with the agenda of confusing and devaluing you, but the trick is to understand it and see it for what it is and not let it derail you. So if you go back over these tips, definitely save my video, go back over these tips and remember that you can combat gaslighting with simple tips like this, but you have to do it consistently and you have to trust your instincts, trust your gut, okay? So if you've enjoyed these, please share with anyone you think might find them helpful, and please like, that would be good, and please follow, that would be even better. And also do share in the comments, whether you've used any of these tips, or share any comments that you have that have helped you to identify and combat gaslighting. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.